global debt crisis, it is also a development in climate crisis. The Pontifical Academy of Social Sciences and the Initiative for Policy Dialogue published proposals to combat the debt crisis plaguing the world. By Kjeltsegussy. Last year, the International Monetary Fund reported that more than half of low-income developing countries are in or at high risk of debt distress. More than 3 billion people live in nations that spend more on debt and interest payments than on education. Vatican Encounter. In June 2024, the Vatican, with the goal of discussing solutions to this growing global debt crisis, hosted a meeting with financial institutions, academic experts, civil society advocates, and religious figures. In an interview with Vatican News, Martin Guzman, the former Minister of the Economy of the Republic of Argentina who is a member of the Pontifical Academy of Social Sciences, PASS, explained the meeting was organized in dialogue with Pope Francis, who very much cares about these issues. 6 months later, PASS and the Initiative for Policy Dialogue, IPD, published their proposals for international financial architecture reforms, which would promote debt sustainability across the global south. The cost of debt. Speaking with Vatican News, Professor Joseph Stiglitz, founder of the IPD, explained that following the COVID pandemic and in the midst of the war in Ukraine, the cost of servicing the debt is overwhelming. He described the situation as more than a debt crisis. It's a development crisis. Without the presence of an international mechanism to monitor and resolve it, the IPD highlighted that international financial institutions may prioritize bailing out private lenders when debts become unsustainable instead of urging a restructuring of the debt. For the millions of people living in countries who prioritize debt repayment, Professor Stiglitz described it as taking food out of babies' mouths. So many developing countries have very limited funds and ways of raising revenue, and thus primary care, vaccines, and children's education fall by the wayside. Proposals for international debt. The IPD and PASS joint document listed more than 10 proposals to combat the debt crisis, ranging from stopping the outflow of resources from countries in debt to properly defining access to credit market. One of the proposals was a topic Pope Francis brought up during the meeting in June, the creation of an international mechanism for sovereign debt restructuring. Moreover, the Pope challenged financial leaders to follow an international code of conduct with ethical standards that can guide dialogue between parties. For Professor Stiglitz, this call to the international community is essential because the debt crisis today with the particular form, with bonds and, the particular manifestation of that, is new.